For all the space lovers here in Florida, there's a museum all about our history exploring the stars. While the visitors can see real retired spacecraft, explore cutting-edge technology, walk through the journey of the moon landing, simulate piloting a rocket, and meet an astronaut. But the Kennedy Space Center isn't just a place to learn about history. It's where history continues to be made. Since 1961, missions launched from Florida's Space Coast, having pushed the boundaries of exploration and expanded our understanding of the universe. From the Apollo program to the Space Shuttle and today's Artemis missions, each achievement represents another step in humanity's pursuit of discovery.
Hi, my name is Mike Baker. I'm a former NASA astronaut. Started my life as a naval aviator, test pilot before I became an astronaut. And now I'm just here doing public speaking and outreach with all the community here at Visitor Center at Kennedy Space Center.
The story of American space exploration reached a defining moment with the Apollo program, which set out to accomplish what had never been done before, landing humans on the moon. Powering those missions was the Saturn V rocket, standing 363 feet tall. It remains the largest and most powerful rocket ever successfully flown. Between 1967 and 1973, the Saturn V launched 13 times, carrying astronauts on every Apollo mission to the moon.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
For many astronauts, the Apollo missions sparked a lifelong fascination with space.
Well, you know, I always knew that I wanted to be a naval aviator. Everything I did was focused on making sure that that happened. You know, I studied my math and science real hard and thoroughly, and then I became a naval aviator. I became a test pilot. At that point in time, I actually realized I had all the qualifications that I needed to become an astronaut, and that's when I started thinking about it more seriously. And it seemed like the next logical step to go from a test pilot to flying the space shuttle. So I went ahead and applied in 1985, and I was very fortunate to get selected. My favorite part, of course, I think any astronaut would tell you the best part about being an astronaut is flying in space, right? Unfortunately, I only have 40 days in space, and I had like 32 years as an astronaut, so you have to like other things that happen in the job as well. And we supported a lot of the missions. We did a lot of different jobs along those lines, and all of that is very rewarding and a lot of fun to just be part of the space program. I flew Atlantis, which is the space shuttle that we have here at Kennedy Space Center on display, which is a beautiful display, the way they exhibit it. I got to fly it on my first and last flight, so I'd have to say it's my favorite space shuttle. And it's right here at Kennedy Space Center. And they also have a ride called the Shuttle's Launch Experience, which is a great way to get an idea of what it felt like to go launch into space on the space shuttle.
Following the success of Apollo, NASA entered a new era of human exploration with the Space Shuttle program. Designed to be reusable, the shuttle transformed how humans access space, supporting scientific research, satellite deployment, and the construction of the International Space Station, over 3 decades of missions.
The training is all-encompassing. We learn, of course, how to fly the space shuttle, all the systems on the space shuttle. We learn about the payloads and how to operate them. We learn how to do spacewalks. We learn how to use the robotic arm. And we have, nowadays, everybody's taking Russian language because we're on the International Space Station with our Russian partners, as well as the other partners who include Canada, Japan, and all the European countries that are in the European Space Agency.
Every mission begins long before launch day. Behind every spacecraft is a foundation of science, engineering, and experimentation.
Well, thank you for joining us today. We're going to be learning a little bit about liquid nitrogen. So anyone know what liquid nitrogen is? No, that's all right. We're going to be learning just a little bit about liquid nitrogen today and what we use it for here at NASA. So liquid nitrogen, here it is in this wonderful bucket we have here, right? Pretty cool, right? Now, liquid nitrogen is a cryogenic fluid. That's just a fancy way of saying that it's really, really cold. it exists at negative 320 degrees Fahrenheit, or minus 196 degrees Celsius. So that's colder than Antarctica, which is the coldest place on Earth, and it's man-made, so you're not going to find it anywhere occurring naturally unless it's produced for a purpose, which for NASA is our rockets. So for our rockets here at NASA, we use liquid nitrogen to propel our fuels together. NASA uses liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen, and nitrogen in its liquid form is what combines them together inside what we call a pneumatic actuator, right? And so we also use it to cool our rockets. Just like when you jump into a cold body of water, you go, oh, that's so cold. Our rockets can do the same thing and they might malfunction. So we cool the rockets before they go into the cold temperatures of space. So here we have our liquid nitrogen, and we're gonna show you part of the dangerous aspects of it. Ooh, right? What happens if you put your body in liquid nitrogen? Now, we have any volunteers who wanna dip their body in liquid nitrogen? I didn't think so, right? So we're gonna use something else that has a similar water content, okay? So you and I are roughly 50 to 70% water. You know, if you're depending on how hydrated you are today, I might be a little lower on the end. I need to drink some more water, right? But we can use something that's similar to us, such as our leaves. Leaves, plants in general, are roughly 80% water. And so they are a wonderful example of what might happen to us if we put them inside liquid nitrogen, okay? So we're gonna put that inside of our Nalgene bucket right here, which is full of liquid nitrogen, our cryogenic fluid. Let's put that inside. Ooh, you see all that steam? The warmth of the leaves causes that immediate reaction with the liquid nitrogen, and it turns into a gas. So that's what's creating that steam. It looks like now our leaves are ready to be pulled out. We've turned all the liquids inside of them into a solid. And then when I shatter them just like glass. So you can imagine how much more unideal that might be if you gave yourself a round of applause after dipping your hands in liquid nitrogen. Might be the very last one you'd ever give. So that's why we protect ourselves from liquid nitrogen, and you can see just how cold it is. Even our leaves have turned white because of how frigid they've become. They're still very brittle, but as my hands heat them up, they begin to regain their color and flexibility once more. And so that's a little bit about our liquid nitrogen, how we use it here at NASA, and why you want to wear some protective gear when you're using it. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. This is Deb from the STEAM team here at the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. Thank you so much for watching.
The science behind exploration has continued to evolve, allowing humanity to reach farther than ever before. Today, a new generation of missions is focused on returning to the moon and preparing for the next great frontier. NASA's Artemis program represents the next chapter of human space exploration, building on the achievements of Apollo while preparing for future missions beyond the moon. Through new technologies, scientific research, and innovative approaches to space travel, Artemis aims to expand humanity's ability to explore deeper into our solar system. The Artemis II mission, which launched from Kennedy Space Center in April of 2026, marked the first crewed mission around the moon in more than 50 years and set a new record for the greatest distance humans have ever traveled from Earth. For many scientists and explorers, the ultimate goal is reaching even further: Mars. Rover missions have already transformed our understanding of the Red Planet, studying its surface and environment while testing new technologies that could one day support human exploration. While NASA continues to lead major exploration efforts, the future of spaceflight is being shaped by new technologies and partnerships across the aerospace industry. Spacecrafts like NASA's Orion capsule, along with vehicles developed by companies such as SpaceX, Boeing, and Blue Origin, represent a new era of human space exploration. These advancements are changing how we reach space, expanding our capabilities, and creating new opportunities for space missions beyond Earth. Exploration has never only been about reaching new places. It's about discovery, innovation, and the people who dare to imagine what comes next. Every question asked, every discovery made, and every generation inspired carries the journey beyond what is known.
Choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills, because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win, and the others too.